is Daytona International Speedway. That is the venue for the first two rounds of the 2026 Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup presented by Michelin. Coming up, a 3/4 of an hour, 45-minute action-packed race event. Hello everybody, I'm John Hindhaugh, and alongside me in the Global Broadcast Centre is SKYACTIV from the Mazda MX-5 Cup Series. Just look at the weather, just look at the field. A record-setting 45 Mazdas ready to go, and they will be competing on one of the most challenging circuits that we have. Now, people might think that I'm just building that up, but we've got a bit of everything here, flat out, round the banking, and we use all four corners of the NASCAR Speedway. But down through turn one, we'll get some overtaking there into the International Horseshoe on the infield, flat out, maybe 2-3 wide through the kink, the West Horseshoe, and then back onto the Speedway at turn number 7. And of course, the opportunity for more overtaking shenanigans at the Le Mans chicane. And if that isn't enough, then it's the draft from there all the way to the finish on the tri-oval. 3.5 miles of action, action, action. And that's what we had yesterday. You know, normally we say that the first half of the first race is a little bit like heavyweights just jabbing, bobbing and weaving, trying to work it out. No, they came out swinging haymakers, and the first casualty was Justin Gravett, who went into the wall off the nose of the number 31 Ethan Lampner. Then Gresham Wagner was spun in the chicane, and he had a very, very poor day trying to get back. But Argy Bargy, 72 of Ethan Goulart, and Fletcher in there as well in the number 22. Tyler Gonzalez with a classic move down the inside to take the lead. Jared Thomas in behind him, and then disaster, a flat tyre for the number 57, Tyler Gonzalez. Noah Harmon then made the big move down the inside, right below the yellow line. Could he hang on to it? He got tapped, he got sideways, but he got the victory and leads the championship as we come to race number 2. SKYACTIV, that was a cracking way to kick off the 2026 season. And as I said, not necessarily a typical Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup race.
The intensity was turned up to stupid levels for yesterday's race, John, because it was the first race of the championship. Normally, people take it a bit easy, especially on a first race of a race weekend. That's not what we saw all throughout yesterday. Only the one full course yellow, though. That's the good news. But today, the cars are clean, they're ready to go, and they don't need to be used for 1 month's time. 5 weeks, as a matter of fact, and that's the most alarming thing, because all these drivers know it.
Oh dear. Let's take a look at the top starters then in the Mazda grid. We'll start off on row 10 with Woody Hyman for JTR Motorsports Engineering. BSI's Bobby Gossett, who ran at the front for a long period yesterday in the 44 car, is in 19th position. One row further forward, PDR, part of DeLong Racing in the blue 42, has Matt Novak for Advanced Autosports for company. Then it's Noah Harmon for Hendricks and Tristan McKee, another couple of drivers who ran right at the front yesterday, but Noah's got a lot to do from there today. Grant West for Spark, and alongside him on the 7th row, Nathan Nicholson for Advanced Autosport in the yellow and black car. Julian DaCosta has the 95 Lightnings McQueen.
Bless you.
Sorry about that. Yes. In the 12th position, Jeremy Fletcher, McCumbee McAleer Racing in the number 22 cars in 11th. The top 10, Jamison Riley, who got a penalty drive-through yesterday for contact. He'll start in 10th and be looking to get some points in there. Then it's Ethan Lampre in 8th. It's Jared Thomas 7th. Then is 7th is Ethan Tyler for BSI. Chris Allen is in 6th with Frankie Barroso, 2 rookies there on the 3rd row. Von Mishko and Ethan Jacobs, 2 rookies there on the 2nd row. Marcello Paniccia on the outside, the front row, another rookie there. And Glenn McGee taking pole position in the 60s. That is first pole position.
Third technically, second race track that he's gotten pole at, and they've both been in Florida. So Glenn McGee better in the Florida tracks, but it was just run of the luck. But I like how you just pointed out 6 rookies in the top 9. Get your popcorn. This is going to be a bit of a tornado to start.
I did check the I did check the times. All of those times were set in the qualifying. Nobody improved.
In the race.
In the race.
Yes.
All of those times that I've just gone through. So the qualifying was a little bit slower. So the rookies getting some drafting help there. A little bit of a schmozzle at the back there as 1 or 2 checked up in the midfield. 45 minutes on the clock. Green flag in the air. And the Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup presented by Michelin is on its way down to the first corner. Glenn McGee in the gold car with the iRacing logo, leads them down, hugs the inside, tries to make it difficult for anyone to go around the outside. Panicia tries to do that. Ethan Jacobs right in there as well. 1, 2, 3, 4 across the track through turn numbers 2 and 3 down the International Horseshoe. The pole sitter goes very long and there's been damage, and it's one of the PDR cars. It is that number 43 Charlotte Trainer car. She had a bad race yesterday. It's not getting any better today as Cam Eben's gone off as well in the number 55.
Yeah, Cam Eben was a bit of a victim there, as there is still smoke pouring out of the PDR machine, but we are still green, and Cam Eben managing to try and get his car refired. He's still sitting off the side of the track, but you can see him working frantically trying to get things going again, as there has been a change of the lead at the front of the field. Where's Glenn McGee? He's dropped back several places. It's Marcello Panicia who's leading the way, ahead of Von Mishko, rookie from rookie.
And the gold car comes round the outside, dropped down as far as 4th at the Western Horseshoe. McGee goes to the high side, but will need help in that gold car. It's going to look now like he hasn't changed into top gear as everybody goes by him. He started the race on pole. He started this lap on pole. Halfway around the lap, he's on pole and in first position, and now he's in P10.
That's just Mazda racing for you, John. This is what we expect in the Whelen Series, and this is what it's going to be for the next 43.5 minutes, as leading the way now, I think that might actually be Frankie Barroso, and nope, missed the bus stop, and all of a sudden he's dropped back several positions. That's what happens when you miss one chicane, Frankie, from P1 to P12.
That's the blue and white Spark Performance car on the high banks again. Now, where did we pick up this damage for Charlotte? I think it was even earlier than that, as we've got, I think that's by Brian Dombrowski, who is sideways on the track live.
Yellow. And
a full course yellow, as Cam Eben got some help there. Pushed wide onto the dirtier part of the track. I'm not going to point the finger because I don't think I have the evidence to say who it was.
No, I think we're going to need a lot more video evidence of that. But leading the first lap, Ethan Lampy, his first ever lap sled, and Ethan manages to get it done lap 1 of race 2, as there is a good deal of damage to the back of Brian Dombrowski's car. He's actually shedded the bumper from that car, and we've got a few other ones into the pit lane. Charlotte Trainer comes in the number 43 machine, and Woody Hyman is now diving into the pit lane in the bright yellow JTR machine.
Jameson Riley was involved there as well, I think, at the Le Mans chicane. 2 cars off there, including that number 40 from Brian. In the pit lane, Charlotte Trainer is going to need a new Michelin tyre. Now, if she can get back out again, she's got half a chance of getting back onto the tail of the field. There is Jameson Riley for Riley Mazda in the number 66, and that car's got damage to the back of the car. That all happened at the far side of the field. And yeah, right in the middle of the pack, going through the middle part of the Le Mans chicane. It's just traffic, and actually there were 3 cars involved, and Jamison, I'm afraid, got the worst of it. By the way, the early incident, Cam Eben involved in that. We saw him spinning off the track. Race control have deduced, we didn't point the finger here, but they've got more views than we have. Matt Novak it was who was involved in that, and that incident is under review, as is the multiple car incident at the Le Mans chicane first time around.
And what I really don't like about that incident, the Le Mans chicane incident, is that Woody Hyman and Jameson Riley both, they had a coming together at turn 3 yesterday, and Woody was leading the Takumi Award runners by that point by a lot, and Jameson just missing his braking point and ultimately taking out his teammate. that, to me, I just don't like seeing those two cars anywhere near each other on the
Again,
track.
yeah,
Ever.
yeah.
Could we just please, you're not allowed.
Yeah, absolutely. Just after 3 o'clock in the United Kingdom on a Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock in Europe. That means it's just after 10 o'clock in the morning here at Daytona. And as many of you have said, a perfect time to start your Friday. Maybe a quick Poets Day, Poets standing for push off early, tomorrow's Saturday, obviously. And a few of you, I'm sure, just getting yourselves ready for the rest of our coverage in sound and vision today from the World Centre of Racing. Good to have your company wherever you are. Hello to Frederick, to Gino, to Emma, and to so many of you in Europe who've taken this event to your heart. Now, the good news is that Charlotte Trainer's car's on the move again.
And the even better news is that the safety crew is still working in turn 7, so Charlotte should be able to catch back up to the back of the pack before we resume green.
She hasn't lost a lap, has she?
She has not lost a lap, and we right now are behind the Mazda MX-5 Cup safety car. Beautiful new machine. It's a matte black on it with the red chrome that they've wrapped it. The Flis guys have done a phenomenal job of that. And now we have the CX-70 to assist it as well with the Whelen lights on it. Oh, it's fun to walk under the Mazda tent and get to go sit in all the different cars. But because we still have the lights on, it gives more of an opportunity for Charlotte to catch everyone up. And actually now I'm seeing a blower deploy. Woody Hyman is going to beat the safety car around too, so he's not going to lose a lap either.
Well, he's going to have to get a wiggle on. It was a green light there at the end of the pit lane, but I don't think he's going to make it. If he'd got his foot down any further, he might have blown the pit lane speed limit. But there was definitely a green light.
Yep.
I checked as he went out, but he is going to have to cycle back in again. So he's very, very unlucky there. And he is going to drop off the lead lap in that bright yellow machine. Here he comes to join in. Now, he is allowed, as far as I'm aware, to just go in where he filters in, but he's being very, very good and gentlemanly in that number 82 Super Lap car, and he's going to fall all the way to the back of the line.
Woody is one of the classiest guys in the paddock. He's here to have fun. He's very good at driving. Let's not diminish his skill at all. But Woody just wants to go out. He wants to have a good time. He wants to win a beautiful trophy if he can come away with the Takumi Award. Really is one of the prettiest trophies that we give out each weekend. But he knows right now he's down a lap. You're not going to get a lap back in this series. He just wants to go out and drive his race car and enjoy it, because the next time he goes out and drives his race car, as planned right now, won't be until June at his home course in Mid-Ohio. Woody also loves snowmobiling. I bet you mentally right now he's somewhere in the north of Minnesota.
I think the fact that he's not a full season entrant as well probably advised his decision there, and I think that's very, very cool. Brian Dombrowski's car being looked at by the guys from Rocksteady after that spin at 7.
And the guys are the guys on screen right now, the two mechanics who are helping with the car, and Brian. I went over to meet Brian the other day, couldn't, because he was fully kitted up in his racing gear, manning the fire bottle as they were putting in fuel to the car. It's just the three of them. They really are coming out, trying this out of Oklahoma. Brian making his series debut in yesterday's race and doing a respectable job out there on the track, but this is a big learning curve. So I give a round of applause to the Rocksteady crew for getting the car able to be back out on the racetrack. And yes, he's down a lap too, but it's still turning laps, getting miles under the wheels, learning how this thing drives. It's not the easiest car in the world to drive, but when you figure it out, oh, it is satisfying. The safety car lights are still on. Yeah. I'm waiting to see if they're going to turn off.
There's still safety crew at the exit of turn. Well, I say the exit of the Le Mans chicane. It's actually it's the runoff area beyond it, but that must have been quite a big hit. Or they're struggling to move the car. Jemison Riley's car, maybe more damage to the rear end of that car or to the wall or the safer barrier than at first thought. Now we're getting the Riley Mazda moved. The guy's very, very careful to not do any further damage. Look, you know, a race car damaged doesn't mean that you could just throw it onto the back of the rollback or the flatbed. Always care taken, no matter how bad the car is. And really respectful. Now, some cars coming down the pit lane here.
Julian DaCosta is one of them. The other is Alex Bashura. So that's BSI and Spark Performance, two different teams.
I haven't seen.
DaCosta's got a problem. They're doing a new
got
tire.
A problem. Yeah, so it isn't. Yeah, left front tire and some damage to the BSI number 95.
Left front tire for Bashura as well.
Yeah, there's some bodywork damage there, and the hood, the bonnet was pushed down. I was going to say I didn't see any penalties.
No.
They've had the hammer out on the driver's side front wing, the left-hand front wing there. But again, you can do this, I think, and exactly the same toolbox being used on the flat green Alex Bashura.
Woody Hyman is also back into the pit lane. He's come to a stop in the box. They finished the work on Julian DaCosta in the number 95 for BSI Racing, so that's good to see Julian back out. He's a guy who's always a threat of a win here at Daytona International Speedway. Comes out of Mayaca City, Florida, so just a couple hours over toward the west side of the state. Alex Bashura, that's disappointing for Alex too. He's not running a full season this year.
No, concentrating on some other racing, I think.
Personal things.
Oh, yes, that's right. He told us the end of last year, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, that he was going to do some selected races, shall we say. Hello to Emma in England, definitely one of the UK crew watching and listening who've had enough of work this week, so I'm tuned in. Well done, Emma. Also from Andrew saying, are there any rules for extra time racing if there are full course yellows later on? More racing is good. Actually, when we finish under yellow, and we can finish under yellow, no green, white checker rules here, it tends to spread the field out more than if we have a green flag race.
Yep.
One of the few series where that happens, Shay.
We don't actually take into consideration the time when we finish under a caution, because that would blow out the average so greatly when we have finishes like what we had last night. Lights are out on the safety car, and I've just been informed there will be a penalty drive-through for Ellie Gossett in the number 77 machine, and Ellie was our best finishing female in last night's race. Now with that drive-through, it's going to make things a lot more complicated for her today.
Hello to Bart in Nepal. I think that's the first time I've ever said that. We have viewers and listeners in Nepal, where it is almost, well, that's 8:55 it was, so it's just after 9 o'clock in the evening already in Nepal. And hello to Dylan Nadwodny as well, who's tuned in and watching. Coming back to green flag racing with still 33 minutes, or at least the better part of it, here on this Friday morning to go in race 2. To the line then, Ethan Lampy, the rookie, leads. Oh, there's a touch further back and two cars diving towards the pit lane, but that was just to get back under control. Grant West, I think, coming through further back there as he had to take avoiding action. We've restarted, and Lampy is holding on to his first position with the red and white chevron car in second, being Jared Thomas once again being towards the front of the field, but again in the middle of the pack, Shay. Just a little bit of maybe miscommunication as people got on the throttle. Yeah,
Bobby Gossett was one of the cars who darted out to try and avoid catastrophe, and it was very heads up from the young man who got his first podium finish in yesterday's race.
And Ellie Gossett, by the way, I don't know if you said this, Shane, if you did, I apologise for the repetition. That was for being out of column and the start. That was the drive-through for Ellie.
That makes a lot of sense. It was a messy start, especially toward the back. We do have another penalty that has been issued. It is for the 23, that's Justin Adiconis. Incident responsibility with Matt Novak. And the number 55 machine is off the track. Goes one of the blue cars. I think that might be Tristan McKee from BSI Racing. He had a busy race yesterday, and indeed it was the number 7 machine, as now he recovers and going through turn 6 with the rest of the field. But that's terrible news for Adiconis. He was second yesterday, so that's two of our podium finishers from yesterday's race having to serve drive-through penalties.
On the banking again. Let's see if this settles down. Contact, light contact allowed.
No more than 2 seconds sustained.
Exactly right. Not consistent or banging. So rubbing, pushing a little bit, that's fine. A bit of bump drafting. Oh, sideways by the leader, and opposite lock quickly applied by Fast Hans Lampra there as he came through the Le Mans chicane, and 2 more cars into the wall in a 3-car accident at the back of the field.
Farhan Siddiqui and Julian DaCosta, teammates from BSI Racing. It's unfortunately 2 cars that you would not want to see come together. Turn 7 and the full course yellow is out. Also spun in the Le Mans chicane. It was the blue and orange car of JTR Motorsports Engineering. That's Chris Hutter having an issue, but he's managed to continue.
So he'll get back on the end of the line. That was literally 3 into the middle of the chicane. Does not go. Half an hour still remaining. Hello to Mike in Illinois watching this race. I'm sure pretending he's here with the cold snap. Extreme cold up there in Illinois. And to the Wombats, perfect way to wind up the working week in Yorkshire, God's country in the north of England. So the 86, the green car, Farhan Siddiqui, trying to get back underway, as I am delighted to see. We're joined by another guest. And let's let the marshals get to business. Jonathan Applegate from Mazda. How are you, sir? Just knock that mic on Shay for me, thank you.
John, Shay, good morning.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy new
We're
season.
Back. 2026.
Yeah, happy new season.
Season 21.
Let's see if we can pick the bones out of what was going on. It started on the way into the Le Mans chicane. Farhan Siddiqui was already in trouble, and a few people having to take avoiding action.
Julian was just a victim there. Farhan had lost the car off to driver's right. Looks like he maybe had side-to-side contact with somebody.
Yeah, broken steering already at that point for Farhan. I don't think he was in control there. The right front tyre and wheel. I could see him turning to the right. The right-hand front wheel was going, nope, sorry, not talking to you. And so at that point, he was, I'm afraid, a bit of a passenger. Season 21, Jonathan, yeah?
Season 21. Wow. Exciting, isn't it? It's an absolute
Where's
privilege.
that time gone, by the way?
It's gone by fast, but we've seen some exciting racing over the course of 21 seasons, haven't we?
Can you imagine trying to put a highlights reel together of highlights from the 21 seasons? It would take 21 seasons to play it back.
Shay, what do you think? Should we put something together? I think that's a good. It's a good idea, John.
It would be a motion picture film. I mean, it would take several hours worth of watching.
I think it would be a Netflix miniseries.
I love it.
I
think we just made something special here. We're gonna have to come up with something.
We should do that and then play the highlights back to the people who were involved in it.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I love it.
New YouTube channel that we should start, Jonathan?
I think
we might be onto something.
I think we just did that with Mazda Motorsports YouTube channel that just launched on Monday. So
Oh,
those
right.
listening, please
Super
go
duper.
follow, subscribe.
So, I mean, we did race the NA out here, right at the beginning, but not as a MX-5 Cup as it stands now.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Started in the SCCA with
Yeah.
on the pro side with the SCCA with the NA, and went into the NC with the Playboy Cup, and then we ultimately went into the Global Cup in 2016 when we launched. And ironically, that first season is when we saw our largest field up to date, when we've just now broke that record with 2016 being 40 cars on track. Now here last night started the race with 45 cars, 45 entries. Pretty special to see. The participation of sports car in general, I think, is attributed to that. But the excitement of MX-5 Cup and what that brings, our paths into Cup, has attributed to a lot of the growth.
And if I might say as well, what we see here undoubtedly makes people want to come and race. Not the crashes, but the close racing. The cost-effective nature. No motor racing is cheap, not at any level,
right.
But the cost-effective nature. But if I may say, Jonathan, the amount of money that Mazda Sport puts back in, and that for the last few seasons has been significant, and not just at the end of the season. So if you're not doing the full season, but you have a couple of good results during the year, you can still take a few $1,000s away.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we were just talking yesterday as it's just math is mathing for us as we kind of look at it, and with testing and things that have kind of gone up over the years, everybody has seen some level of inflation, but it just blows my mind as I kind of take a step out of my position and look at what Mazda has been able to do for the course of 20 plus seasons now, to be able to support our racers and provide such levels of investment. $250,000 to the winner every year that still essentially pays for the season and then some. So it's special.
And proof in the pudding that what we're doing works, because Ethan Lampy was second in the shootout, and he's
Yeah.
led all 6 laps of this race.
So exciting to see that for Ethan. We saw the talent there going in from SPAC MX-5 into the shootout. So I think we're going to see special things from him in 2026.
You mentioned the words global and Cup. Still, MX-5 Cup represents Mazda around the world. It's a North American product, absolutely. But we still call it the Global Cup. That was the idea. I know plenty of places have talked about it. We haven't quite got to expanding. But I can tell you that right here, right now, we have viewers and listeners in Nepal, Thailand.
Love it.
Taiwan.
Welcome, Thailand.
Gerhard. Hello, Gerhard Chen in Taiwan, where it's just after 11 o'clock in the evening. The UK has always been a big supporter of this, and right across Europe. So coming back to IMSA, the International Motorsports Association, actually a perfect fit for Mazda when you did that a few years ago.
It is just an absolute amazing partnership, and I think it's more than that. It feels like we're part of a family here with IMSA. They've done so much for us and really put us on the map. For a long time, we were always the racing series that no one really knew, and we're finally on the map. And as soon as you see it, you fall in love with it. But now I think we've finally seen the masses in front of our product, in front of our series.
So this race started at 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon in Europe, in UK 4 o'clock in Europe. Productivity in the UK goes down when we have this race at this time. There's a lot of people going. Just before we started this on RS2 IMSA Radio, we played one of our real-world road tests, which was me behind the wheel of one of the current MX-5s, thanks to the guys at Mazda UK. And what never ceases to amaze me is every time I get back in an MX-5, and sometimes there's quite long periods behind that, how quickly I remember why I like the car. The current ND model, just been once in a while, there's a couple of little things that get changed, maybe a suspension part here, a brake part there, a new special edition. The UK loves their special editions. And then I got to try all of them for one of the anniversaries recently, and I got back into the NA, and I thought, my goodness me, considering the amount of years, 30 plus years that has gone by, the current ND, I know has to have a little bit more, it's a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier, but my goodness me, it has all of the character of that first car, which was a no-nonsense, stripped-back sports car, actually in the old 1960s British sports car kind of vein, and the ND still delivers that as a straight car.
Yeah, just eloquently explained there, John. I think that's...
I've actually got goosebumps thinking about it.
I feel like you described that so special. And it does. There's so much connective tissue from NA to ND. The amount of obsessive detail at the corporate level and from the design side, with keeping the driver at the center of everything we do. Jimba Atai, one of our philosophies, horse and rider is one. And that is something that we truly believe in as value for all of our cars, but particularly with the MX-5 Miata. It is the halo vehicle. It will always be. And there's so much special passion that's poured into building that car and building our race cars. The Flis Performance does a phenomenal job at really keeping the true core value of our MX-5 production vehicle, but turning it into a bulletproof race car.
Well, and the point you make there is very well made, Jonathan, because actually just down the road from where we are now, we're in Flis Performance country, aren't we? And thank you to the brothers Flis and their team for everything they do. The car comes in as pretty much a standard road car, and then they break it down like a Lego kit to its component parts. Put some things over there which won't be needed. Put the engine over there which will be needed. Oh, let's put a seal on that so nobody can mess with it. And then put over 250 racing parts on it. It looks like a standard road car, and there's a lot of the car in it, particularly the drivetrain. But this is a proper FIA built race car, from cage to fire suppression system to race suspension, brakes and gearbox. This is a proper race car.
Absolutely. Bosch ECU, we just now with our new MY26 models that Flis will be building, we're putting in a full race application harness So that will allow us for sustainability across the many years ahead. So whether we go into 2026, 2027, and maybe even somewhere down the line in NE, we'll always have the ability to continue to build MX-5 Cup race cars. So I think we're always looking ahead and thinking ahead with Flis being at the top of our technical development. It's really special.
Did you see what he did there? He drops NE just as we're about to go green.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
That's all I've got. That's all I've got.
About it. Jonathan, stay with us. Thank you very much indeed. We're about to go back to green. Great work by Track Services and the Marshals. And here's Ethan Lampe, then the rookie, with the pressure of the restart and 20.5 minutes to go. One or two people breaking out the line, trying to get the run on the high side. That's a very good run indeed.
Bobby Gossett.
I was about to say it's a 44, Bobby Gossett, and he's going to make up some positions, but Lampe holds on down to turn one. Jared Thomas decides not to make the move that time around. Vaughan Misch goes right up there. 4 of the top 5 on the restart share were rookies.
And Marcello Panicia was the bravest of all of them, trying to go around the outside of turn 1, made it work, got by one car. That would be Jeremy Fletcher, last year's defending series champion, and now looking to try and get a pass on Ethan Jacobs, another one of the rookies that he has been battling with fiercely. As we have another penalty that's come down, Cam Eben has been issued incident responsibility with Woody Hyman. That's going to be a drive-through for Cam.
Yeah, Cam hit earlier on. He was the hitter in that particular scenario. Race control looking at that one at the western end of the infield, then getting back up to pace with under 20 minutes to go. You know, for a moment I looked up there and I saw the Whelen across the front of the leading car. I thought, oh, has the safety car come back out again? Thank goodness that's been changed. The beautiful new chrome livery on that car. The whole field then spreading out after the single file restart. And now we'll see who wants to work with each other. We restarted Advanced Autosports, JTR, Advanced, JTM, Saito, Macumbi McAdee, Spark, JTR, BSI and Hendricks for your top 10. So there are some teammates in there, but that doesn't necessarily work, as we saw yesterday with 4 or 5 BSI cars in the top group, and they couldn't convert that into decent results.
I've seen some really mature decision making from some of our drivers who have been in the series for a while, as that was a sketchy moment for Fernando Luca rejoining the pack at the exit of the Le Mans chicane, did manage to hold on to it. But drivers like Jared Thomas, 2 times a winner of this championship, deciding that he is going to work with everybody, not just people under his own tent. That's what we're seeing this morning from Jared once again, and he has got a firm grip on that second place as Ethan Lampe leads lap number 9. He's led every lap of this race. 18 minutes to go. Somebody else can come in and take away that 10 bonus points for most laps led, but it's going to be difficult at this point.
Keep an eye on the blue and orange car in this second pair back. That's Vaughan Mischko. He's just gently been working his way through that lead pack. He's staying out of the way. These are, I think, penalties cars down in the pit lane.
Not Glenn McGee.
No, McGee in the lane, and also was that Nathan Nicholson in the lane as well?
No, it was the car that we were expecting, Justin Adakonis in the 23. His
Adakonis,
penalty
yes.
had been
Sorry,
issued
another yellow
before
car
the
spot.
yellow came out. But Glenn McGee was our pole sitter. This means, again, pole sitter will not win the race, as Jeremy Fletcher got very loose and it allowed Marcello Panicia to come around him.
Yeah, and gone past him. There is that number 9, Vaughan Mischko. I like what I'm seeing from Vaughan. I've watched him in the last couple of restarts. He's picking a part of the track that nobody else is on. He might not be making up places right now, but he's always got an escape route. And I think that's really interesting when things are starting to get close in pack racing. He's making sure he's got somewhere to go. That's the car sitting third. This the first of the second pack of cars, and another spinner.
Joe Rainey.
This time it is Joe Rainey. My goodness me.
I think Chris Hutter might have had something to do with that as well, as he's accelerating at a slower pace from the scene of the crash, but Joe Rainey is going again good, so we should stay green under this situation.
That was coming back onto the high banks at NASCAR 1. The lead group unable to make the break at the moment. Again, we'll make the analogy of top-class cycle racing, where you have a peloton. If they work together and don't race each other, you can get the aerodynamic advantage and maybe break that group up that is typically what we've seen down through the years. It didn't happen yesterday in the first half of the race. It hasn't happened today. And already it seems to me, Shay, with 16 minutes on the nose to go, that people are thinking about the end of the race, and they all want to be closer to the front than they are at the moment.
They do. Von Mischko at the front. It led his first ever lap just now. The young man who's
listening.
He was listening to us. I'm glad that he turned on the radio to us instead of his spotter, aren't you? As he's got Jared Thomas right behind him, and Jeremy Fletcher making the move up to second. Jeremy did not have the race he was looking for yesterday with a bit of damage to his brand new car. Meant that he wound up finishing much further down out of the points. He only got the 10 bonus points for getting the pole position, as well as the 10 points for finishing the race, starting and finishing the race. But it means that Jeremy Fletcher, hungry to lead a lap as the defending series champion. Jared Thomas, very happy with where he is, does not want to go backwards.
Von Mischko never led a lap until he just did.
Correct.
Right? Look who he's got behind him. Jared Thomas, Jeremy Fletcher.
And Tyler Gonzalez.
And Tyler Gonzalez, who they have led a few laps between them.
Tyler Gonzalez led 99 laps last year. Just needed one more from any track, and he would have hit that 100 mark. But Tyler Gonzalez yesterday, another one of the drivers who did not have the race that he felt like he deserved, and back again with BSI. BSI are one of the teams representing Operation Motorsport this weekend, John. They've got an Opmo veteran with them this weekend, Chance
excellent.
Sheffield, who's out of Minnesota. He was with the Explosive Ordnance Disposal. Talk about bravery. Served 5 years, grew up with motorsports, loves IMSA, loves this form of racing, and Chance has definitely been enjoying every minute. He'd enjoy it even more, though, if one of his cars ends up in victory lane in about 15 minutes' time.
So those top four, the rookie, and then anything but 3 rookies. Probably the 3 drivers, if you put them together, they've just drafted past the rookie themselves, and Vaughan caught a little bit cold there, and he hasn't been able to get back on the end. He's lost the lead draft, and here comes the second group as well. Now he needs to get onto the back of that group, as they will catch the leading 3 if they work together. They spread out, coming down into turn number 1. Jared Thomas has led a lap. He goes to the inside with that distinctive roll hoop, and now the top 4, which was the top 3, as Thomas goes wide, and we'll have 3 abreast coming through turn number 2. Hold your breath, everybody. Jeremy Fletcher will go to the lead, but he hasn't got the optimum line into the Western Horseshoe. Red and white of Thomas down the inside, a big sideways moment. Tyler Gonzalez gets hit very, very hard indeed.
Thomas hit into Tyler Gonzalez. Thomas hit into Ethan Lampy, hit into Tyler Gonzalez. Tyler saves it, just nudges the front of Frankie Barroso. Frankie winds up going off the track. They all managed to continue. If any of those drivers was slightly less capable, we'd be under a full course yellow now.
We start being looked at from the last end of the caution period. We've got race control right behind us, so hear from them as soon as we can. I was just about to say that those 3 that were right behind Ethan drafted past him, but then we closed it up, and now with that argy-bargy down at the International Horseshoe Share, we've got 2 breaking away, Thomas and Fletcher. So let's see what happened. See, that was Vaughan Mischko coming back down the inside. He actually was the catalyst there. In billiard terms, that was a plant, wasn't it?
Very, very much so.
He just outbraked himself. Oh, big hand out of the window there.
No, that would be the wrong side of the car.
You see, there's the Brit.
As
so what
Noah
was that
Harmon
about?
had an issue. He missed the braking for the Le Mans chicane, and he's actually come to a stop just on the other side of the tire barriers. He's in a safe place, but this was yesterday's race winner, Noah Harmon. First ever race win for Hendricks Motorsport, which makes them the first team to get a win at their home track here at Daytona International Speedway. Noah is stopped. We'll keep monitoring that, as coming across the start-finish line, they're going 3 wide as Ethan Lampy goes around the top. Ethan, did he lead that lap? No, by 11 thousandths of a second. He was in second. It was Jared Thomas who led the lap. He's now back to 4th.
Right rear issue for that car stranded on the back straight at the chicane, I'm afraid. So now we've got the full grid coming back together again. pretty much 2/3 of it at least. I said this in the opening to our race coverage yesterday. There is not another series that can go 3 wide in all the places that Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup do, and what's more, it's not really compromising the pace that much. These drivers, they respect each other, they know each other. The grip levels on these cars, considering they don't have huge aerodynamic accoutrement, it's all mechanical grip, and that means you feel the grip through your backside and through the steering wheel. It's pure racing, pure sports car racing, and with them being open top cars with those FIA roll cages as we go full course yellow, they make a big hole in the air. Now there's a pass being made there that will have to be dropped back. We've seen this happen before, just before yellow flags here, but no, everybody's dropped back into line, and the reason is, I'm afraid, that the Cube 3 Noah Harmon car with damage, I think, to the right rear of the car. We can't quite see it from our global broadcast centre.
But
I did remember the binoculars today, but they can't see through MX-5s.
Yes, that is a slight downside of those binoculars. We have to upgrade these somehow. The thing is, we should not take anything away from what Noah Harmon accomplished last night. That race win was phenomenal driving. Noah picked the right lane to go at exactly the right moment. Hendricks with 2 cars inside the top 6. It was just a wonderful celebration for them all around. And Noah got 2 podiums last year as the scholarship winner from the year before, but didn't get that win. Last night was checking off a major box.
He got hit and turned sideways and didn't lift either. If he'd lifted 1 iota, he would not have won that race. He would not have won that race. Let's see if we can work out what happened to Noah this time around. It's not going to be the fairy tale ending that he had hoped. All in, well, he's on his own there. Oh, hands already up.
Signaling. Go by me, go by me.
Yeah, the right-hand side of the car I could see was scraping the ground or locking up. I think he's got a right rear puncture on that.
The white smoke is very curious. They did have an issue in the first practice session with the diffs. There was a little bit too much fluid inside the diff in both cars. His teammate, Weston Workman, as well, having a slight issue. Noah was the one with more of an issue, though. But that's still a very strange situation. Noah knew, and very heads up, pulled to a safe location. If he had gotten across the racetrack, he would have, but clearly Noah knew that the car was not good enough, or maybe it would have been dumping fluid. Maybe he was trying to be cognizant and fair to his other competitors. Noah is very heads up like that.
This is going to take a wee while to get that car recovered. If it could have been towed, I think it would have been under tow already from our AMR safety crew.
But
best in the biz.
Ethan Lampy took the lead before the caution came out.
Yes, correct.
Ethan Lampy's going to get the 10 bonus points for leading the most laps.
I think he was already in the lead.
Jared
went up the second ahead of Fletcher.
Yes.
Yeah.
The question is Ethan Lampy going to win on his debut weekend?
Well, this is going to take a while. It's going to be, we don't have mandated green-white checkers, but it could be as few as a couple of laps. They're going to lift the front end of this car and tow it that way rather than flat towing it. Interesting.
Well, we've got some time while they're trying to figure all this out. Jonathan, we've had a very exciting off-season for Mazda, including bringing some new partners on board. I saw the Motul sticker on the side of Noah's car. Who else do we have?
I'll tell you what, it's great to see Motul branding all over the paddock, all over the cars. I'm seeing here from the unique POV of the booth, the Motul logo and the graphic at the top here in the live stream. Great to have them on board. We announced that earlier this week, that Motul is our new oil partner of MX-5 Cup. They're going to provide not only product but boots on the ground support with their oil lab and their testing. Just really excited about them being on board and supporting us across the board for the entire season and into the future. So this is a really good partnership that I see not only motorsports benefiting from, but potentially even moving that into the OE opportunity. One thing to mention, Whelen. They are here, obviously title sponsors, but they are here by the masses. And for a title sponsor to be here before Rolex 24 festivities kick off to support MX-5 Cup, we've got the CMO here, the CFO, all sorts of engineers, and Sonny Whelen himself here will be in victory lane with us celebrating after this race. Michelin, our tire partner and our presenting partner, they're on board and just had some really good conversations with them about renewing into the future. So Penske and Sunoco and all of our official partners are really in a good spot, and I think the series is a testament to that, seeing the commercial value of what we're doing.
I think we're coming back to
We
green.
are. Our wheel and safety car
fantastic.
decided
Let's do
to
it.
get off the racetrack and give us an opportunity to finish this under green. 6 minutes to go. Whew, this just got a little bit more exciting.
Well, Ethan Lamprey has another rookie behind him, Von Mishko, then Jeremy Fletcher, Jared Thomas, Tyler Gonzalez. Here they come to the line. There's going to be about 5.5 minutes, a little bit more than that, as they come down in the sunshine. Air temperature absolutely perfect at 73 Fahrenheit. That's 23 Celsius. Sorry for those of you in a cold Europe or cold US at the moment. Very clean start by the leading quartet down towards the first corner, hugging the inside line. Ethan holds on to it. That's very nice driving indeed. Mishko stays in behind him. Then Jeremy Fletcher is pulling out the line, but he's lost a position. He's now getting absolutely trampled by the rest of the field.
Fletcher's up to second. Mishko's the one who's been dropping back
Yes.
through all of that chaos, and Jared Thomas and Tyler Gonzalez right there as well. The guys who know what to do in this kind of situation, all of a sudden they're moving to the front.
It's amazing that we're seeing them go 3 wide through 2 and 3. And it's not a given who has the advantage there. It does seem to be on a case-by-case basis. I thought Jeremy had made the wrong decision there, but he's up into second position around the outside. The blue and white number 50 of Grant West is entering the conversation. 2 wheels on the curb at the moment, down towards turn 6. He'll make up at least 1 position. Might just compromise his entry onto the high banks, but for the moment he's in third and bump drafts the second place car. He got a great run out of turn 6. I thought he was on the wrong line now. Stays on the bottom side and will push through. This is marvellous stuff right in behind the Whelen car of Lamprey there, and that was a brilliant manoeuvre, not just to make up the position by Grant West in that second place blue and white car, but then to hold it and pick the right lane on the banking.
Exactly, and on that bottom lane, we've got Advanced Autosport leading Spark Performance, leading BSI, leading Sato Motorsport Group, leading BSI. So there's a lot of different teams working together to try and make that bottom lane work, and now there is a gap. Weston Workman is at the tail end of the lead pack. We haven't talked about Weston Workman today. He hasn't been a feature. Guess who has entered the chat with 4 minutes to go? It's Weston Workman.
All you have to be is somewhere in that lead pack. We've seen it here before, people coming from double digits on the start of the final 3.5 miles. Now, big sideways moments at the western end.
That's Brian Dombrowski again, unfortunately having a bit of a rough day for the Rocksteady crew, but they are going 4 wide into turn 1. Nathan Nicholson trying to slip up the inside of Jeremy Fletcher and Tyler Gonzalez. Job done for Nathan Nicholson, is way off the track goes the number 7. That's Tristan McKee gathering it back up again, and he rejoins in actually contact with Von Mishko, who's dropped well back into the pack now.
Oh, but he threads the needle down in between 2 cars, now has the sense to go to the inside line. But all of a sudden, look what's happened. We've got a little bit of a gap. Actually, in Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup terms, that's a lead. That is a proper, absolutely no-nonsense lead that Ethan Lamprey has, and that all started because of the argy-bargy that was going on behind him. Grant West is in second, and he had to use a little bit of hip and shoulder there to hold on to it. Shea, more problems at the western end.
Bobby Gossett is off the track. I think that's Grant West as well.
No.
He was in the 3rd position, and Grant has now been nerved off the track. He's sitting in the tires. Hopefully he can get things going again.
He was in 2nd place.
That is heartbreak for Grant West.
Is that Grant that's gone?
I think it is the 50. As in the lead, yes, it is Grant West, and he is moving inside the car. Looks like he is potentially unplugging. We might finish this under caution.
Make a move now if you've got
front.
it. Make a move now very quickly if you can.
It's rookie on rookie.
Here comes Marcello up the outside on the number 31. Gets it done for the lead. That might be a decisive pass with that car stranded. We've stayed green at the moment because we're on a different part of the racetrack. I like this call from race control. Smoking number 99 as it goes through there. Ethan Jacobs.
diving way down on the racetrack. That was Weston Workman going below the double yellow lines, but got the pass done on Gresham Wagner.
But look who's leading. Jared Thomas got Nicholson right alongside him, and on the high side it's 3 wide. This is incredible stuff. We're still green at the moment, but if that car hasn't moved from the Western Horseshoe, then we could be going, yeah, no, I think it's clear.
Fletcher,
I think it's clear, we'll stay green.
Fletcher leads Panicia, and that is not how they came across the line, but that's how they are on the racetrack now. Ethan Tyler is up into third. In fourth, Jared Thomas getting spun around, comes across the track and takes out Frankie Barroso. They're both heading towards nothing at a high rate of speed. That's the good news of this racetrack, because there is so much runoff, but that just gives us something else to keep an eye on, and now they're rejoining in front of the pack.
Weston Workman, I think, there as well, Shay. Further back there was also his race was interrupted. We're on the last lap in all this excitement as they come through. Jeremy Fletcher at the front at the right time. All kinds of move being made behind him. Debris at the far end of the circuit.
There's carnage, John, in the middle of the field as we come into the Western Horseshoe, but we stay green as running away right now.
Big touch, and that's coming out of turn 6, and Panicia has gone around, but he got help for that. It's going to be busy in race control after this race. Everything is going to be very, very provisional, but at the moment Jeremy Fletcher has just got to keep his head. I'm not going to say he's been gifted it, but the people behind him have absolutely grenaded their chances.
That is the worst position to be in at this point in the race, though, John, because he's out front, yes, with a big gap, yes, but the pack is coming, and Tyler Gonzalez is leading the pack with Gresham Wagner right there. Gresham looking to get another victory and put his name in history, tying for the most wins in series history. Is Gresham going to get it today?
Ruben Caceres in 4th place in the blue car with the yellow stripe. He's come from absolutely nowhere. He's in the rarefied atmosphere, a chance of a victory here, and he's getting help as well on the high side. This is going to be the typical Daytona drag to the finish. It's all about the bump drafting at the moment. The blue and white car on the high side is out of this because it's shortcut across the front end. Fletcher getting help from Gonzalez. It's going to be Fletcher. Fletcher will hold on to it, I think, as they go across the line by half a car. Jeremy Fletcher wins it by just about half a tenth of a second from Gonzalez, and Ruben Caceres is on the podium from Ethan Lampert in 4th position.
Ruben Caceres, who lives just up the street here. Somebody asked him the other day where to find the Advanced Autosport team. He thought they asked where the Advanced Auto Parts store was. He gave them directions and said, it would have been really bad if me, who lives here, couldn't even tell people where to go. And then he realized they were asking about the team. Phenomenal day for Caceres to get this podium. But what a rebound for Jeremy Fletcher.
Yeah, Jared Thomas with damage to the right front was involved till the start of that final lap. Jonathan Applegate, I don't know what you pay the script writer, but they need a raise. Another classic Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup race here at Daytona. I actually had a tweet earlier on saying, can we just race here every event?
You truly can't script this stuff, John. Thanks for having me in the booth. This is phenomenal to start the season here at Rolex 24 at Daytona. Every year it starts the season off right. It's always fun to see. There's such a mix-up in the field. As we said, Ruben Caceres in the front. You know, those that might have thought the Gresham Wagner Jared Thomas combination was a cheat code. Every time the script changes.
Well, Gresham was the one that started that incident coming onto the final lap in the number 5 car. Jeremy Thomas still had it all to do with cars rejoining all over the place, actually ahead of him on the track. Down into turn 6 and going onto the high banks, there was more contact there as well. And that's really what sprung the leader, Jeremy Thomas, and allowed him to go on, because that sideways moment for Marcello Panicia slowed down everybody else. It wasn't a done deal, though. And with a little help from Tyler Gonzalez, it was Jeremy Fletcher who wins it. From Gonzalez in second, Ruben Caceres holding on to his nerve and riding his luck. And I think those top 3 are clear of any potential investigation. Everything that went on was people who finished behind. Nathan Lampert in 4th, Gresham Wagner in 5th may have to have a chat with the race director. There will not be coffee and biscuits there if that is the case. Tristan McKee, Vaughan Mishko Chuck Mathias again with another good result. And again, rookies, 3 rookies in the sharp end of the field in the top 5 or 6, Shay.
And very, 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 very provisionally.
How provisionally?
Very provisionally. I'm going to say our championship leader is Justin Adaconis. Even though he did not have a great race today, he rebounded to finish P13, P12, which gives him more than 500 points, and I can't see anyone else who's got that many after such a tight race yesterday and today. So much misfortune in yesterday's race for a lot of the championship favorites who righted things today. It's going to be interesting to see where we land when we get to St. Pete.
We might as well have just thrown all the numbers up in the air, but it was Jeremy Fletcher from Gonzalez, Caceres, Lampre, Wankner, McKee, Mishko, Chuck Mathias, as I say, another top 10 finish then. Tyler and Nicholson, Ethan Goulart. Quiet race for him, but picks up 11th place points ahead of Frankie Barroso. Justin Adaconis, provisionally our championship leader at the end of the first racing weekend. Ethan Jacobs, Justin Gravitt, Will Robinson, Weston Workman. Very quiet race for him ahead of Alex Bashura, Matt Novak, Fernando Luque, all involved in some bits and pieces actually. And as we go through the second half of the field, pretty much everybody here had contact, a drive-through or some kind of issue. Charlotte Trainoford twice in 2 days, an incident that wasn't her problems that really didn't do her any favours. And look at the names further down: Peter Atwater, Jared Thomas, Parker DeLong, Glenn McGee, Grant West, all drivers that should have been at the sharp end of the field but were not. Noah Harmon, yesterday's winner. Oh, well, you win today, you finish 41st on the next race. My goodness me, that is the nature of the Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup presented by Michelin. On the high banks of Daytona, the traditional start to our season, and 2026 is underway. High octane action, plenty of talking points. 1 or 2 people who'll have to go and speak to race control. They'll be having a slap on the wrist. And we've got more of this all season. For Shea Adam and Jonathan Applegate, I'm John Hindhaugh. Thanks to the production crew. More Mazda racing coming in 26.